On this episode of Pimp My Setup, I'm going to be talking about your setups you submit for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts now.
It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
This episode of Pimp My Setup is sponsored by Lowdown Bids. Lowdown Bids is an awesome website you can use to win expensive prizes for huge discounts. From anything from gift cards to TVs to laptops, you're bound to score an amazing discount. And to make it even better, there can be multiple winners per auction. Sign up today and receive 10 free bids and start winning our best items.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pimp My Setup, episode number 184. We're live on January 26, 2017. My name is Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly. And as always, we are joined by producer Tom.
I saw, dude.
Yeah, no, delivery is not good.
Guys, I'm not
All
saw,
right,
dude. That's why it just doesn't.
Saw, dude.
Okay.
All right, you got emphasis on the emphasizing, okay?
Emphasis on the emphasize. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Anyways, at Thomas Philly, that's where you can go find him on Twitter. We have 10 setups. Actually, very nice setups. We have 7 of the 10 in the 90s, 2 of them in the 80s, 1 of them in the 70s. So it's not like I have to majorly roast anybody today, which is always a good thing. Such a good thing.
It's weird. The past 2 episodes have been really good setups, and then the last couple episodes before that were really bad.
Really
setups.
bad. Yeah, it was like a trend. The trend today is great cable management, which is usually like a gem out of all the setups, you know what I mean? So, hopping into the first one, submitted by Al, 34 years old. He uses a setup for web browsing, Photoshop, Lightroom, and some gaming. Now, first thing I notice is a very, very clean cable management job. Obviously, it's a little bit of a darker photo, but yeah, you look there, you got a little bit of a loom coming through. Looks like a little chode. It's all good, though. And then Tom doesn't like that joke, but he's got a little bit of everything. The one thing I didn't see, maybe Tom can use his super magnificent eyesight to find me a pair of headphones.
He doesn't have headphones.
Oh my God, I knew it. Yeah, really though, taking a look at this, no headphones. That's going to take a point off of accessories because, God, we need to nitpick. Otherwise, everyone's getting a good score. But he's got great speakers on nice isolation pads, fake plants. He's got his camera lenses in the right corner there, which is dope. That one probably costs more than
the desk.
Yeah, well, I would hope so. Yeah. Phone stand, things like that. It's just a very nice, clean, well put together setup. But you also have to remember, theme is a category that will affect your score. And that is actually what is the problem with this one, the next one, and maybe some of the other ones, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there's no real theme here. I don't hate it, though. It didn't get an awful score because of that. You know, I love the color. I love that lamp up there. I think it's a very unique idea. Not really something we've seen. Normally, I like to see a little bit of, symmetry, at least. You know what I mean? But in this scenario, he does have the one. If he was to put one on the right side, he'd have to completely shift, which would be a whole sort of thing. But at the same time, it kind of looks like he could afford it. He's got the room to the left. Yeah. So I'm not sure. But what do you think? Symmetry, yay or nay?
Honestly, I don't think it's necessary in this setup. I think it's cool to have one spotlight just shining down. It would have been cool maybe if it was above the monitor and see how that would look, because then you have it shining perfectly symmetrical above the setup. But I think it's fine just like that.
And you agree theme needs to be added.
You got a blank canvas on the wall. Why don't you use that?
He's a photographer.
Put some of your pictures up there.
Yeah, dude. That's what I was saying. But I definitely think that would be nice. Now, really like the setup. Got a great score. But take a mental snapshot right here, because the next setup, although it's not identical, it has the same problem. Take a look at it. Next setup of the day, submitted by Ross. He's 14, uses the setup strictly for gaming. But look at that. Straight to the point. But this guy one-upped him with a pair of headphones. Wire management, of course, clean. It's such an easy setup to clean with your cables. You put it behind the back panel, bada bing, bada boom. You ain't got to worry. So I like it. I think he did a great job. Really, they have a lot in common. They both had like the single controller at the setup, and I just think that it's like really funny how that kind of worked out. Because people always wonder, do we put these in specific orders or anything? No, that's why we don't have episodes specifically of 15-year-olds or gamers or whatever. So just kind of funny how that worked. Now, one thing I'm not a huge fan of is having the MacBook Pro on that bottom shelf. Kind of seems a little bit odd. If you're taking it on the go, I guess it's not the worst thing ever to just kind of like and then grab it and go. But I feel like it kind of looks like you're putting it in jail. You're not a big fan of it. So I don't know if you can find a better spot for that. And I don't know what the usability is like for the PS4. I would assume it's fine for you to put it there. But like, is it easy to get the disc in and out? Tom's a pro.
Yeah, he's got it's like literally on the left side. It's like in between that the power buttons on the front. So it should be fine. But it just like it's not necessary to have like your hand like squeezed through where you can have an open space somewhere. On the
you can even
dashboard.
just rotate it.
Yeah.
So the side is being faced towards you. But
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Thank you to the pro.
Yes.
PS4 expert that we have on scene here. But yeah, I mean, the same problem. Now, I always talk about this. This extended mouse pad is not a legitimate extended mouse pad unless the keyboard is the size of your thumb. That is not enough room for your damn mouse. If you're playing anything that requires a little bit of scuba-de-doop, and you're a gamer, may I add, so if you're doing a little scuba-doop, you're having an issue here with actually having mouse pad real estate for your mouse. So that's what I'm saying, buddy. You got to do something about that. All right. So I would definitely appreciate you getting a longer one. That sounded weird, but Tom, do you agree with the theme needing to be a little bit of like,
yes,
you know what I'm saying?
And he has a shelf off to the right where you can see he has like a hat on the bottom right, but there's probably a lot of stuff that he has that he likes or whatever on that shelf, but we can't see it, so it's not a part of the theme score. I would add something above, a poster or something like that. The easy
just
stuff.
A
little something. That's
yeah.
all.
And someone made a great joke about the Yeti Pop, aka soda, the can. A whole nother level of Yeti. Get it out of here. Just kidding. Next setup of the day, submitted by Rasmus or something. I don't know. He's 17, studying to become an electrician, loves filming nature and making small skits. He also said, shout out to all my fellow Danes. Okay. Hey, where they at? No.
Where they at, though?
Really, though, drop a comment if you are Danish. And if so, please leave the damn premises. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so yeah, someone said in chat, I hope there's nothing Star Wars related. We got a poster, 10-4, I see it, roger that. It's there.
He tried to keep it away from his setup, but it's still there.
Yeah, it was creeping on in. Now, excluding the setup real quick, obviously we're not here, this is not Pimp My Bed sheets or anything like that, but goddamn, what an ugly set of sheets. You got green sheets on top, on the bottom to the left, Tom.
Oh.
Yeah, I want you to show that off because that is like the weirdest green ever. It's kind of hard to see. Like off green. And then you got the jail cell sheets on top. You got, I almost cursed, but a damn giraffe.
Yes.
And then the pillow, you got blue. You need help, okay? We're going to get HGTV to come on in there. Property Brothers, where you at? Because this guy needs help. Really, though, taking a look at the actual setup itself, not a bad setup at all. Super usable. Obviously, the IKEA combo. Now, a common problem that people have that want to use these studio monitors, which look sexual and probably sound sexual, is that they want to have them at the proper level, and they want to have them usually on stands because they don't have the desk space. And that kind of hurts this setup in a way because although it probably sounds better being the way it is, it makes it so the desk can't be a complete L desk. It has to have that little corner, which I don't know what you guys think in the chat. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I think usability is more important than anything, and he still can completely use everything. But I would like to know what you guys think. Tom, yay or nay?
Yeah, it's tough because, you want to have them on your desk, but there's no way they would fit on your desk and not blow your ears out.
It's true.
I mean, that's the best spot for now.
Yeah, and he just doesn't have the room even if he wanted to.
Yeah, if you put him next to his monitor, it would be way too close.
Yeah, like if he had a longer desk, basically where the speakers are now would work.
Extended out, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, taking a look at like the overall wall space and whatnot, it seems like he's going for, he said he was in the film, right? So we see the clapboard. Is that the proper term? Yeah. clapboard. He's got like a movie poster. He's even got his little whiteboard. It seems like, he's got The Walking Dead, so maybe he's going for sort of the film, TV kind of thing.
Entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 2 clapboards, so actually he just one-upped himself. That is pretty crazy.
Where's the other clapboard?
On the desk.
Oh.
Yeah, so very interesting. Not a huge fan of like all the random stuff on the desk, but it's about him. So if he's all about that, giraffes and things like that, then you do what you got to do. Not the best theme score though. I don't think it's like in your face kind of theme. If you're gonna go with the whole movie thing, get like the reels. They have those for the wall. You get a lot of cool things like that. What do you think though with the theme?
It's tough because if you have a white wall and all that, I feel like you have to have colorful posters. So the one that's above your monitor and all that, it's cool. It looks really cool. But the white on white, it just looks really weird. And, having the whiteboard, it's like understandable. Whiteboards are white for a reason. But I would feel like having more colorful like things on the wall would make this a better setup.
Agreed. Totally agree. Next setup submitted by William. He's 14. Setup is used for editing, film, and photos. No gaming. So back up. All right,
guys. No gaming.
No gaming. Not even a damn game of solitaire. Everyone, take a step back. Really though, just rinse and repeat this episode. The simple, straight to the point, single monitor setup. We've seen it. It works. It's nice. It's not going to make me drop my pants anytime soon, but it's also not going to make me, throw up all over it. So, obviously, simple things. Headphone stand, under the desk, on top of the desk, something to that extent will make it look really nice. Now, the other thing is he doesn't have speakers. Yes, he does have the nice Sonos, or is that Sonos?
I have no idea. It doesn't look like it.
I think it's Sonos.
It looks like a
Maybe
way
it's an
different.
off-brand. I
Probably.
can't read what the name is, but it looks like it starts with an A.
Yeah.
Well, I just made myself look dumb. But, the speaker there, obviously, it's not... It could sound decent.
Maybe his plant is another speaker, and you just don't know that.
Oh, my God. He just cracked the damn Da Vinci Code! Really, though, I'm not 100% sure what it is. Okay, some people are saying Sonos in the chat. That's what I went with at first, but when I zoom in, it kind of has an A in the front.
Yeah, you can't really tell, but...
On your screen, it looks more like an S, but also, I'm dyslexic, so... Yeah, regardless if it's Sonos or not, I know Sonos probably sound like, Jesus when he was right in front of you giving you a little drop from the beat of the Bible, you know what I'm saying? But for computer speakers, I would prefer, 2.1 setup. I don't really think that counts, I'm not a huge fan of when people put 2 Bluetooth speakers and use that. Not a huge fan. But that's just how I feel.
Just Logitech speakers. The Logitech speakers I have, the Z333 or whatever, they're super cheap and they look super nice. They look like, very expensive speakers.
And it comes with a little dial and
and
everything.
It looks nice. I would get those.
Yeah, so that's just kind of how I feel. The walls are a little tough for me. Not my cup of tea, but I think it actually works in your room.
It does. It kind of works with the the bed and all that.
Yeah, because the bed has the stripes. It's very modern and office-y, if that's even how you would describe it. But, he did a great job with cable management. You can't hate the guy. He did a pretty good job. So, it's not my cup of tea. I'll say that again, but it's not a bad setup. So, would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, no, you hit everything on the head. You got it.
Yeah. Ding, ding.
Not even with a nail. You just hit everything on the head, like just punched it.
I was doing a Bob the Builder kind of thing. Yeah. Like, who can do it?
Yes, we can.
Bob the Builder. Okay. Hotel theme. That's actually a great way to explain.
Yeah, there you go.
This setup of the day, that doesn't make sense, is submitted by Trung Lee, which is a form of Trunks from DBZ. Now, I've never heard the name, but he's 19 from Vietnam, but he moved to America for college because America. Now, this is his dream setup. Now, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy because I am always that guy. This, you would think, would be one of the high scoring setups. Spoiler alert. This is the lowest scoring setup of the day. And if you look at that and say, Matt, you're wrong, that's a 95.5, then you need to be slapped upside the face, and then someone needs to come up from behind and kick you off a bridge because that's wrong. Let's think about this. First off, rinse and repeat. not necessarily the setups we've seen in this episode. Obviously, everyone's like, look at me, I got 3 monitors. First off, do you have an earthquake going on? Why is the one on the right like holding on like it's Titanic? Never let go. See you later, Jack. Boom. Do you see that too? The right one looks like it's going down.
Kinda.
Going down
hard,
for real?
It's hard to see. It might look like the angle of the photo, but I can see how it's kind of like angling down a little bit.
Yeah, the one on the left is like standing up straight, you know.
Yeah, it looks like it's just like...
It's kind of going... But also, I mean, when you take a photo at such a weird angle, I mean, you kind of ruin it for yourself. Now, the next thing is he's drinking a can of Pepsi. Now, I don't drink soda anymore because I'm trying not to be as fat, but goddamn, get that out of here. You don't even have a damn coaster. How dare you drink Pepsi? Now, the computer itself looks sexual, right? But it's on carpet, so minus 15 points right there. Now, the desk's cute. It's real nice. You know, it's your dream setup. I like it. Everyone has those lamps. They look great with, you know, colored bulbs. I'll give them that. But your headphones need to go. Hang it up. What are you doing? You got your wallet? You want me to steal it? Put it away. Put it in your pocket. Clean up that, because that whole jumbled section right there, terrible. That just hurt your score. Now, the real reason why, besides the whole Titanic iceberg thing, is the speakers. First off, not even the fact that they're completely blocked. You put the damn subwoofer on your desk. Why? Why would you do that? It does not.
He has no room underneath his desk, Matt.
Yeah, oh my God. He has no, like, his legs can't even fit under there. So much going on. He won't even put his damn subwoofer on the floor, but he'll put his expensive PC that looks very nice on the floor. You actually deserve to be slapped. The speakers, though, seriously, what is the point of that? You have the room to put them on the outskirts. Yeah, it'll be really far to your side, but that's that. You can also rotate them. They'll fit that way. But I can't actually believe that you would put the subwoofer on the desk, but you're going to put the PC on the floor, on carpet. It doesn't make sense. I get it, this is your dream setup, but it's got no theme. I love the cool colors, but colors, you know, when the lights are off and it's bright out, it kind of kills what you're going for. So, boom. Hey, oh, what's up? Yeah, and yeah, people in the chat, normally they're like, man, it's okay if it's on carpet. They are actually mad. You done did pissed off the chat. Tom, are you pissed off?
I wish he had storage, like an Alex drawer underneath.
Well, obviously that's what he needs, right?
That's what he needs to put all his stuff. I don't know where he would put his stuff in the room. Maybe there's another part of the room.
The
but
garbage can.
You need something maybe underneath your desk or off to the side of your desk where maybe you could put your PC on top of like an Alex drawer. You know, like that's where you could display it better, and then have the subwoofer down there, because then you'll have room to put the subwoofer down there.
Yeah, and he's got a big room.
Yeah, it looks like he's got like an open room, just like perfectly for a setup in his room.
Doesn't make sense to me. The last thing I'll say is, separate from the setup, I want to know what your thoughts are in the chat and comments. Are you a fan? Are you starting to not like triple monitor setups as much now that we've seen a lot more ultra wide setups? Me being a user of ultra wides, even though I have 2, I much prefer that. You know, the way I have my monitor set up now, perfect. I want to know what you guys think, because triple monitors used to be the thing, but now it seems to be like people aren't too happy about it. And I think when you use a triple monitor arm like that, there's so much room for error and keeping them straight and perfectly angled. It's a hassle and a half. You need to single mount each one, otherwise it's just really awful. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks great, but when the monitors are sagging like your grandma, it's not good. Right, Tom?
Yes.
Good. Next out of the day, submitted by Georyn, whatever his name is. He's got a pretty cool setup. Not, you know, the best, but it's good. It did better than the last one, because guess what? His speakers are out in the open. Now, I think they're a little close.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a center speaker. But still, it's just a little, and then a little, and you're good. So that's what I would do. Now, the cable management's amazing. I mean, this is another desk that we see all the time. Very hard. Damn it, Tom! Let me finish what I'm saying first before you point out a cable. The actual computer section and all that looks great. Obviously, it's coming out of the MacBook Pro, so it makes it about 13.5% easier And Tom's really zooming in there to kind of make me feel like a dick, huh? You're really zooming in.
It's there.
But the thing is, the one cable we are seeing, which Tom so nicely pointed out, is that one. But without that, he can't see, Tom. So you wanna come up with
How do
a
you
solution?
fix it, Matt?
Well, I was gonna ask you that because I don't.
I'd say run it on along the bottom of the wall.
It's too short.
No, he has it like circle around. He can easily rotate it, the base of it and have it feed along the wall.
But I don't know.
Look, it's right there. You could rotate it and have it go
Might
against
not
the
be
wall.
enough slack. No. Yeah, you're probably right. But that is probably the only cable that really pisses me off.
It's
Now,
not even bad. It's a lamp. Who gives a shit?
What really pisses me off, though, is the fact that he's so high and mighty with the trophy showcase. What the... Throw them out. What are they for, Tom?
It's all biking stuff.
Biking?
Yeah.
I bike in my sleep, okay? Throw them out. Nobody cares. Really, does anybody care?
I care.
Okay, I figured. Damn it, Tom. I think trophies are cool. I have too many to even put on display if I wanted to. But the thing is, nowadays, everything's participation. So I hope none of those are participation trophies. They better be first place, because if you ain't first, you're last. And if you don't chew Big Red, then... If anyone knows, no. Really, though, I think that's kind of, like, weird to do that. Because kind of like, here's my setup. It's so cool. By the way, I win a lot. You like that? That's something that's got to go elsewhere. Maybe in your room still, but not necessarily like, you know, you go to do homework and you're on that side of the desk. You look up and you're like, I remember that. And back to doing your schoolwork. Kind of weird to me. Now, Tom, what do you think about posters? Yay?
A lot of people are saying that they're too high and all that, but
Well,
I mean, like the last thing you need is having the posters behind the monitor. If you put them lower, then you're going to have to put all of them lower. If you have some that are high, some that are low, it looks weird. So I feel like the placement is okay for where the monitor is and all that, but I don't know. I wish they were framed.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say about this setup is I have the same monitor arm that he's using. The great monitor arm. I just sound like Donald Trump.
It's a great
Like,
monitor.
I have that. It's a great monitor arm, okay? But like, let's be real here. You don't need it, okay? Really though, the idea behind that is you're supposed to have the arm a little off to the side so that where the actual monitor is, it's like you put your hands out like, and you don't feel anything. Plus, it's a little weird because it's like a super small monitor, probably a great monitor, right? It's a great one. Okay, I've used it. It's nice. The refresh rate. But I definitely think, you know, you got to upgrade in that department because you do have a lot of cool stuff. So why not get a big ass display? Therefore, having a monitor arm, that's expensive, may I add. It'll make a little bit more sense. You agree it's too small?
I think it works for now, but in the future, if you have the money, do it.
I feel that. Any final thoughts for him?
No, he did a good job. I like the LEDs. I wish they carried it out throughout the whole desk. You have it just on the setup side. I feel like maybe having them around the whole setup would be ideal.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of a interesting setup though, because I don't think we've seen something like that.
No.
Boom. Next setup submitted by Angel. I almost said Angle, but that's not right. He's 19 years old. He's an IT technician, plays games, video edits, produces music, does schoolwork at a setup, and his YouTube channel is Angel Vicious Tech. Yeah, so that's all you need to know about him. Now, taking a look at the setup, at first I was like, whoa, that's so cool, dude. And then I did a double take. I'm like, that's not a TV. What the it's a poster. Come on, at first glance, if you were just to blink and look at it and then look away, that's TV. It's a pretty smart idea. I'll give him that. And as much as I love it, and as much as I give it a great score, I will critique something in a second. Now, here's the thing. The setup itself, great. Tons of cool things. Usability, cable management. Although in the second photo, it's a bit like right into the signum.
You mean the third photo?
What?
The third photo?
Third photo. Oh, yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. There, it's kind of like all into it, and then it kind of goes off to the right side. Could be a little bit nicer. But it's like the walls, man. The poster should be framed. Okay, that'll make it look A lot better. The foam tiles, I just don't understand what kind of drugs you were on when you did that, because those are just so poorly placed. Like, why? Who? Like, you put it up and you're like, that's about right. It doesn't line up with the other one, but boop, okay, we're good. He's the kind of guy that licks the back of them and puts them on. It's like, it's not an envelope. Okay, chill. Really though, oh my God, why would you do that? Did you put them up on like 7 different occasions? Like, I'll put one here and one there, and I'll come back tomorrow. And then he comes back, he's like, one here and then one there. And by the time he's done, he's like, it doesn't line up, but it looks good. Like, weird. I don't like it. And I hate to say it, but it kind of ruined the whole, like, cool feel you got. The cool feels. Now, the cable management coming out of the PC right there. Boom. You see it. Busted. Ha! Got him! Man. I also think that the monitors, especially in that photo, seem to be like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, man. It's really coming at you. And then if you look in the next photo, the one on the right is like going down forever. Tom doesn't like that joke either. It definitely looks like something's going on. But a great setup nonetheless. You know, I love the purple. I think some people... I always think purple's not used enough in setups. I think it's a really cool color. It's not girlish, okay? So if someone thinks it's... Get out, okay? But I like the left side. Don't you think those posters look cool there?
Yeah.
It's almost as if he took time to do it. Which is weird, considering the other wall looks like, you know... I don't have a funny joke, but it just looks bad. Right, Tom?
Yeah, he was on Setup Spotlight too. So if you want to see a more in-depth look on his setup and all the peripherals he uses, you can go there and watch it.
Stop plugging, okay?
Yeah, but I feel like if you rearrange the foam or whatever on the wall, maybe just to have it around the Daft Punk poster, like just like an even, like symmetrical look to it, I think it'll look way better than having them all plastered just however you placed it before. Like, just, I want to get them up. Get them up. Just throwing them up.
The thing is, like, if you're going to keep the Daft Punk poster the way it is, like just flat up against the wall, no frame, then put some of the foam tiles over the actual edge so that it all lines up. You know, like, if you don't care that much about the poster, then just do that. But it just, regardless, I think it gives off a weird look because it's not the whole wall. It just looks like shit, honestly. And I hate to be that guy, but what the Anyways, let's go to the next setup submitted by Brian. He's 21. God, we have so many more to go through. Okay, Brian, 21. Now he's got a lot to say. The next 3 have a lot to say. So he just bought his first house. He's a car enthusiast. Now get this, he's 21, just bought his first house. I'm not even 21, but when I'm 21, I'm not going to have my own house. So better. Brian is better than me. And my brain is currently killing itself. He's a car enthusiast. He owns a BRZ and a 96 Nissan 240 SX SE. So this dude's got 2 cars, a damn house.
Where does he live, yo? That's the real question.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's a web developer and software engineer, which explains ching ching. That was supposed to be ching ching, like the money. Cha-ching. That's what it was. That
if you weren't on camera, it sounded a little weird, but you were on camera, so we saw it.
Yeah, let's see, the reason he didn't wall mount the monitor is because he wanted the walls to he wants the wall focus to be the art. Sorry, I had a brain fart. The speakers are flush up against the monitor, something I do not like, because he said OCD reasons. I don't care you got OCD or what, that looks like shit.
You can measure it, just do a tape measure and like go like 5 inches away from the monitor.
Well, he says he angles them towards him when he's using it for a serious thing. Like, you know, serious use. If he's jamming out to
One Direction.
Numa.
Yeah.
What's that one?
Numa, yeah.
Yeah. Or
Numa,
One Direction.
Yeah.
Just pull it out. It looks, if I don't, you know, I was never told that I have a whole, you know, OCD problem. But if I did, I'd probably pull them apart. Anyways, he said no mouse pad. Well, I got felt pads on the bottom of my mouse, so it's a smooth operation. Okay.
Michael Jackson? Or...
Ha ha. A smooth criminal, Tom, isn't
Smooth
it?
operation, same thing.
Okay. He said the wool color is gross, but he just bought the house and he needs ideas for the colors. So I was thinking like a light gray.
Gray always works. It's like
It
the
just
easiest.
does.
It's the easiest thing to do.
But look, he's got everything's nice and black.
Yeah, so nice light gray, nothing too dark.
Would work. Yeah, don't do too dark. You got to go for like a Greyhound from Benjamin Moore. I done did it. I know it's a good color. And then he said, if you think the setup lacks personality, that's just because I'm a boring person, so it definitely reflects me. That's funny. At least, you know, you can own up to the fact that, you know.
I think it's fun.
No,
I think it's like minimalistic.
It's cool. The wool art, the canvas thing is like on a nice silver thing, whatever it is. It looks great. And it's such a cool piece of art. And everything else looks super clean, super nice. I mean, I don't look at this and say that's a gaming setup, which apparently he does game there, so that's a little bit weird. But I think it's just a nice setup. Like, it's simple. It looks like an older person setup, and it just kind of works.
Where is his PC or laptop or whatever he uses to power it?
Let's see.
Maybe in that cabinet.
Oh yeah, it's in his. I think he said it was in his laptop. It was a laptop in the drawer. And he wants to actually get like extensions, like a USB hub and stuff, so he doesn't have to open up and
yeah,
go in
that'd
there.
be a problem.
Yeah, forgot to mention that. Thanks. The one thing I will say though, and I saw in the chat, maybe down the road you'll want a bigger desk. I think the desk's perfect for you, but if you ever add anything to it, it seems like it could get kind of filled up pretty quick. I'm thinking more in the leg room, but then I remember I have elephantitis, so. But what do you think about this setup, Tom?
I think it's great the way it is. Like, if you never change it, I don't think that's a problem. But I feel like if you do want to expand and like get more monitors or get a PC down the road, I feel like getting a new desk, like you said, would be great, because then maybe you can move the shelving with all the books and all that somewhere else, maybe on the other side of the wall, but then have that hold that side of the wall for the desk. I think it'd be pretty cool if you could expand it. But if you like it like this, then hey, it works.
Yeah. Let's go to the next setup. Excited for this one. Staying on this photo. This is Ryan's setup. He's 30 years old. He was on episode 161. You may remember. He owns his own graphic company, which you can find at nesbo.net. Not sponsored, but hey. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, sponsored by
He's actually, this is second Fast Pass, so again, we really appreciate that. Now, this was like a cool setup, but we said things that we didn't like about it. You know, we were pretty straight up. Steve was actually the co-host for that episode. You know, we said it was too cramped. The monitors were a little too angled in. It just seemed like you need more space, and the wall was covered up, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm excited to show you the update. Bam! Show it! Look at that. So, custom desk built on an extra stand for his wide format printer. So the cable's actually set to have enough slack, so when he pulls out the desk, it doesn't unhook anything. The downfall is that like some of the cords are actually visible, which we'll get to. Now, going to the next photo and staying here, the tablet under the ultra wide is for security cameras, and the one under the right monitor is used as a credit card reader. Obviously, it's a business, so that's what he needs something like that. Now, the triple monitors and TV are used for graphic design, equipment control, and streaming. The other setup, which you can see in the previous photo, is used specifically for editing and business paperwork. The monitor by the printer, which you can see up on the top left over there, is used for viewing stats in the product manager when you're actually using the printer. So, because if you go to, I believe, the fourth photo, that's a nice panoramic photo that shows off the big ass printer. I mean, that is a big ass printer, very big. And as you can imagine, with the room, it was hard for him to kind of get a setup that worked. So I'm happy he finally figured something out, because this one is like a night and day difference. You could tell just going back to the original photo he submitted. Kind of look at how close everything is. Look at specifically though at the monitors. They're very angled in. Now, if you go to the next photo, you'll see they're way more pushed out, way more breathable. It just seems like an overall, like, really, really usable setup. And someone just said something funny. They said the lamp looks like it was stolen out of a dentist's office. That's actually kind of funny. When they pull it over, you're like, smile. And you're like, no, don't do it. But yeah, I think it's kind of hard to get that minimalistic look or a clean look with something like this, because it is like you have a lot. You are a business. That explains why you have so much going on. But I like that you changed up the walls. You put the foam there. The foam looks great. I think the setups are spread apart enough to where it's actually comfortable. I love the like rainbow thing on the desktop.
Oh, it looks so freaking cool.
Right? It is dope. I'm pretty sure it's like vinyl, or I think that's how he explained it. But of course, looking at the third photo, that's kind of the problem of the setup, I guess you could say. It's great, but of course, you have to factor in the wires and stuff. And I understand you have it set up in a way that it works for you. We can see the wheels, of course. So, of course, it's going to take a little bit off. But at the same time, if this works for you, if this is how you need to do it, then you got to leave it, obviously. So I like it. I like you have the headphones hung up. Someone's mad because he's a Razor fanboy, or so it seems. Yeah, people are funny. But I mean, the underneath, not my favorite thing in the world, but if I looked at everything else in the setup, I mean, it's great. He's like Casey Neistat with the skateboard on the wall. You know, it's a, like, would you agree, Tom? It looks like an awesome office.
It looks way better than before and all that. And I feel like because it's an office, because it's like a business and all that, it's hard to do cable management and like have it in a stationary position. Like, this is how it's always going to be. I feel like it's always moving and all that. So having the cable management like that, it's okay.
Yeah. Like Tom said, it's a business. You know, that's the most important part. But I love that he took it from, I mean, I think now if you have clients and whatnot come in, they're going to be like, whoa. Before it was like, that's cool, but it's like kind of looks a little messy. Now I think it's definitely better. Still a lot going on, but obviously it's a business. So I like it a lot. It's cool. Now let's go to the final set of the day, submitted by Chris. Now, here's the thing. Chris is 15, right? And man, oh man, he's been watching the show for a very long time. And he said that he learned a lot from me, and he actually tried his best to implement that into his setup. Now, he's one of the guys that I did a setup consultation with. It was a lot of fun, talked about a lot of things, and we kind of like figured out what he was going to do, because the setup was a little bit different back then. Not by much, but I think he's finally got it to that point where it is a clean-ass setup. Now, he uses it for productivity. The theme is all white, and the reason he did that is because he can actually add color with like all of his hue lights, which you saw in the bedroom shot. He has a lot of different lights, like a lot. So he likes that he can do that because it can really be whatever he wants it to be. He also has various things around the room that you can see on the wall, like that shelf, the Calyx shelf has like his drone and all that cool stuff. And then you look at the other shot, he has, what is it, like, yeah, all that stuff, like a Trump thing. Yeah. Yeah. And he's got like the cool pennant and whatnot, which I think is awesome. So really cool. Not bad at all. I like it. Now here's the thing. He's kind of a sneaky little bitch, okay? The reason I say that is most people do not realize that he has another Linmon tabletop behind his desk. Obviously, when you zoom in and you know to look for it, you'll see it. But he actually has a tabletop behind his desk to hide the cables. Now that is very smart. And unless he told me, I honestly would not have looked deep enough into that, right, Tom? Like,
no, yeah, I didn't notice until you were like to say like he has, and I'm like, and I'm looking, and then I saw it like on the edge or whatever.
Yeah,
cool.
And I mean, you still got to give him props though, because look at the speakers, look at the monitor, look at all that stuff. You're not seeing those cables. Of course, he has wireless peripherals, but he did a great job with managing what would be seen. So very smart. You know, it's not a solid 10. It's a 9 at least. Only because it is kind of cheating the system, but it works. So I'll give you props there. Now, one thing people were saying, and I kind of somewhat agree, is that the desk does look like it's getting a little bit of a smile to it. You can look in the third photo, and it definitely looks a little bit like it's going in, right?
Kinda, yeah. I mean,
of course, it's hard. Photos distort, so on and so forth, but it does look like It's going towards the center a little. Now, I don't think it's the end of the world. Those tabletops are really cheap, and the best thing for you is you have one on standby, so you can just swap it out. But
and I got another one and put in the bag.
Yeah, I would probably try to reinforce it. It's probably too late for this specific tabletop, but yeah. I really, really like this setup. I really love his room. I think it's not often that I love the whole room. It's normally the rest of the room is where they hide kind of like the bulk, and it's not really the most well thought out thing. But that photo right there sells it for me. Like, that seems like a dope place to live. The only problem is you need a bigger bed. You can get yourself king size California king, bada bing, bada boom. Nice. But yeah, and another thing you could do. Now, the problem is the IKEA Lindman tabletop is too tall. That's why it sticks out just a little bit, and cutting that would be a mess, and it wouldn't be a clean cut because it's particle board. But if you're able to actually brace it to the wall, it's like someone said, and actually, yeah, well, he said you could get angle brackets and put the tabletops together. But what I'm trying to say is if you actually brace it to the wall, you don't have to be worried about it bending and stuff because it'll have support. But, I mean, what a nice room. Nice everything. It all goes together. It's a great color match. I was telling him, like, gray is the nicest color for the wall. It works. It's just such a nice setup. And I like that it has a little bit of personality in, like, the shelves on the wall. But he also has the ability to change all the colors and whatnot. So, I don't care who you are. You got to be jealous of having a room like that. 100%. Tom, how do you feel about it?
You basically hit everything on the head again. I mean, it's literally an awesome setup, an awesome room, like a huge room where he knew what he was doing. He's like, okay, I'm going to put that shelving on the wall. I'm going to put the bed there right against the window. And then I have my setup right up against this area over here, which fits pretty perfectly, to be honest. It's a great setup. I like it.
It's really, really, really nice. Also, the last thing I'll say is I love in the photo of his actual bed, you can see, like, he's got LEDs and stuff, whether it's just a bulb or whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Behind, like, that is just
it's simple, but it's like awesome.
Those lights are so goddamn expensive. I will just say that. But insanely nice room. I don't know how else I could say it. Just insanely nice. Now, let's do the scores. We got Al with a 92, Ross with a 90, Rasmus with a 92, William with a 90, Trung Lei with a 72, Georyn, I don't know how to say these names, 88, Angel, 92, Brian, 88, Ryan, 90, Chris, 96. He lost a point. That was the other thing I was going to say. Oh my God, I forgot what I was about to say. But I did take a point off, obviously, for the cheating. Cheater. But yeah, it's really, really nice. Oh, the accessories is only because it doesn't matter. You're obviously using what you use, but I think having other kind of accessories makes it a little bit harder of a setup to have, like a mechanical keyboard, a wired mouse, and stuff. Because it's not that he's cheating, but it kind of takes away. He's only got that to work with, and it's not like he's got wires coming out of it and he's got to drill holes. But I mean, 96. I think that's pretty good. Anyways. That's all we got for this episode of Pimp My Setup, episode number 184. We're live on January 26, 2017. My name is Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly. You can find Tom at Thomas Philly. That's going to do it. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Pimp My Setup, and we'll see you on Sunday. Thank God. Time off.